Okay, so I am going to show you how I did my spine going to show you how I did my spine using one of the ProEcho rulers. Since I wanted my spine to be echoed 1/4 of an inch, this was the perfect tool to use. On a previous section of the quilt, I figured out that the ProEcho 8 is what's going to work for this particular quilt. And I just kind of used my finger and said, okay, I'm starting here. I lined up this particular line with the center of this strip, and I just really eyeballed it. This is a sample. If I wanted perfection, I would probably mark that center. And then I came out, and again, just using my finger as my hopping foot. So I traveled along the outside curve of the ProEcho. Now, most people would think, okay, I'm then going to flip like this and do the other side. The problem with that is, since I'm using the other side to echo with, okay, I need to make sure that all of my echoing is done on the one side. So I'm actually going to take it and go like this, okay? And I'll line this particular segment of my line up with the center, come around, okay? And then I would flip again, and then I would go back to lining up the center of this, and I come into the center of there. So I think once I show it to you, it'll you'll understand it a little bit better. So we're going to get started here. Starting in the center there. I don't normally like to stitch in this direction. My machine can be a little temperamental with that. I like my needle down because then I know that it's not shifting. So I'm lining it up. Again, I am just eyeballing, okay, the center there. So I know that the center is, I'm lining that up there, okay? So it's like a contortionist when you're dealing with rulers. And I'm just going to stitch on the outside of that line, and I'm going to stop once I come and hit this line here. I know I need to shift my ruler, okay? Check my tension there, looks good. Okay, so I'm going to shift my ruler, okay, line that up with the center, okay, and continue stitching, and stop at that line there, okay, and then I'm going to shift my ruler again, lining up, and come into kind of the center there, so okay, I think I blocked part of you, but anyway, so now we're going to travel back, and you're going to see why I used the sides that I did of the ruler. Okay, so I'm going to travel over about 1/4 inch. I now want to line up the line that I've already stitched, okay, with this side of the curve, and it should fit pretty perfectly, unless you shifted your ruler a little bit while you were quilting, which, not a big deal. Okay, so we're gonna stitch that. I'm gonna stop about there. Okay, I'm gonna flip my ruler, line it up. Flip my ruler, line it up. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do my straight line chevrons off of my flying geese, and I've decided to use my ProLine 4 for that. So I know that my feather is going to come down into here, and I want my lines to be behind the feather. So basically I have to do my feather first. So that's not where I'm going to start. I'm going to start here with my chevrons, okay, since I know that I'm going to come down into here. So I'm going to slide the ruler over my hopping foot, and I've gotten some questions as to why that slot isn't big enough for the hopping foot. And the reason is that you can use both sides of this ruler now, okay? So you can slide down this side and then slide right up here, and this will not make a dip, okay? So you can use both sides of the ruler. That was the benefit to making that notch so small. Okay, so I'm going to line up here. Okay, I'm going to switch down. Again, I like to stop with my needle down. I'm going to shift my ruler, and I know that I need to just quilt over until I hit that, and then quilt up. And then I know my hand's in the way, so it's hard to see, but I just move the ruler with it, stop at the corner there, make sure that I'm lined up again, stitch down, stop, scooch my ruler, quilt over, and quilt up. And I'm just going to proceed. Now, as I've said before, with these particular rulers, it is important that your hopping foot is in the center. I'm sorry, your needle is in the center of your hopping foot. Mine is off a little bit on one side. So a lot of times I know which side and I can compensate for it. So it is you get much better results if you are in the center of your hopping foot. And a lot of people's hopping foots are different sizes than mine, so you might not get that perfect 1/4 of an inch. You might be a little bigger, you might be a little smaller. Don't worry so much about that you're off a little bit. You're going for perfectly even spaced lines. So if they're all a perfect 1/4 plus or a little bit of a 1/4 minus, it's not a big deal as long as they're all the same, okay? Start my feathers straight from there.